Tributes are being paid today as the world remembers Princess Diana, the People's Princess, on the 25th anniversary of her death. And I'm sure all of us were around then who can still remember and recall where we were on that August day back in 1997 as we learnt of the shocking news that Diana was killed in a Paris car crash. 25 years on, and her star power and influence hasn't waned in the slightest. So joining me now live from London is Royal Editor at the Daily Mirror, Russell Myers. Russell, welcome to the program. Diana's legacy remains as strong as ever. Why do you think, so many years after her death, she still holds such a special place in the hearts of so many millions around the world?
Well, good evening, Chris. I think you just said it. Her legacy has lived on, far beyond her years. And I think that the reason for that is because not only had she changed the monarchy during her lifetime, she delivered it. It was dragged it into the 20th century, if you will, this centuries-old traditions of very, very staid pomp and ceremony. And she brought the common touch. She was one of the people, even though people had never met her or even been, in close quarters with her. They felt a deep, deep connection. And that's when she, after her tragic death, you saw this outpouring of grief, not only in Britain, not only just through the Commonwealth, but throughout the world. And certainly, I think her sons have made incredible strides to carry on that legacy, and regardless of their fractured relationship of late.
Last year, we saw Prince William and Harry reunite in London to unveil that statue of their mother in the gardens of Kensington Palace. How will they be commemorating her death today, do you know?
Well, I do, and unfortunately, they were just speaking about the fracturedness of their relationship, and that remains very, very prevalent at the moment. They will be celebrating it or commemorating her life and legacy very, very separately. 5 years ago, on the 20th anniversary, they spoke publicly and had decided at that point that was going to be the last moment that they would join together in a sort of public commemoration. They did, as you say, come together in London last year to unveil the statue, but there were no words, there were no specific tributes. So very, very separately. I mean, Harry did speak just last Thursday at a charity match for the charity he set up, Centre Marley, in memory of his mother, saying about how he missed her every day. He wanted to continue her legacy, and I think that the fractiousness of their relationship is very, very prevalent in their distance on this commemorative day.
Yeah, from the People's Princess to the Duke and Duchess of Winge, as many people refer to them as, and I can't believe this is all happening on this 25th anniversary. A new profile on the Cut website this week, Meghan of Montecito. How did she come out looking after that interview? And maybe it would have been respectful if she'd have just stopped the publicity train for a week.
Well, I think that's how a lot of people think. The opinions have been certainly divided. I mean, on one sense, Meghan has come in for an awful lot of criticism about this article, and on the other, her podcast that she's been promoting on the back of this article has shot to the #1 on the Spotify charts in more than a dozen countries. So she's certainly got her fans, but I think that's quite unfortunate that was in this week, the 25th anniversary, commemorating Diana's legacy, that this broadside against the royal family, the instances about talking about Harry's feeling that he's lost his father, are really quite damaging. And I think that even if there had been no way back for them previously, that this is certainly the final nail in the coffin for their relationship with the rest of the royal family.
Couldn't agree more, and a terrible time for it to get to that stage. Russell Myers, thank you very much for your time. Yeah, he says it's that popular, this podcast of Meghan Markle's, and yet this is the topic for episode 2. The all-important natural hair in Hollywood and the difficulties of keeping it natural and how to live as a diva. Seriously.